course, back on court after a 3-month break, attempting to recover his very best level, start the new season in the best possible fashion. And during the off-season we had an opportunity to sit down and have a little chat with the Spaniard, talking a little bit more about his world in general. Of course, his fantastic career, 14 Grand Slam titles, and without a shadow of a doubt, one of the greatest players ever to grace our sport.
Bueno, es un evento único para mí, ¿no?
And of course, Rafa just talking about how important the French Open is as far as he's concerned, a unique event for him, and of course holds a special place in his career. The emotions and the passion of the game in Paris, and without a shadow of a doubt, I think most people will agree, the greatest clay court player ever to play the game. And he's just suggesting that he never felt that he would have been able to have achieved so much at such a special tournament. His relationship with Roland Garros is so very special. He's not quite sure how it's going to finish. Still plenty of tennis to be played there. But of course, not just the French Open where he had success. His 2008 Wimbledon win against Roger Federer was incredible too. Rafa just suggesting that it was the first Grand Slam that he'd won on any surface other than his beloved clay. And he'd always suggested that Wimbledon was a dream for him. Historically, wasn't a particularly good place for Spanish players for many, many years. But he says with certainty that for his entire life he was wishing to be the first Spaniard to do something exceptional there after such a long time. And of course, he was able to do that. So winning that was unforgettable. And of course, the other big one, Australian Open against Novak Djokovic. He lost, but what a match. Finally in Australia, he suggests he could have lost it in the fourth set, but he had chances in the fifth, but he gave everything that he had on that day. He said he had no more. He finished the match completely empty, but that's something that we're used to seeing with Nadal. Such a good competitor. And he says his satisfaction is always just giving everything and being able to look himself in the mirror and know that that's what he's done day in, day out. Of course, Rafa just talking about the best player in the history of the game. He suggests it's between Rod Laver and Roger Federer, which is a fair definition of exactly how well they've done down the years. But he said, they've still got to finish their careers. Lots of good players that still can achieve a lot. He said he's still active, so who knows where he can finish as well. Djokovic, of course, racking up the numbers now too. He's very much a part of the conversation when you're discussing the best players in the history of the game. And he said, you never know. These things change from season to season. It can depend on injuries as well. So many things. But at the moment, he's nice and happy to be involved in that conversation. Of course, so nice for us to have Rafa Nadal back with the same type of ambition that he's had throughout the course of his illustrious career.